Welcome back to the Final Credits. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Oscar winners. We're going to be talking about Mario 2 coming out in 2026, Aliens Romulus, The Crow 2024 remake, and a little show called Star Wars The Acolyte. Watch us for more. And joining me today, we got none other than Joey Pancakes.
Welcome. I got my straight vodka. It's good to be back.
Nice. Johnny 64.
Hooah! The Oscar goes to Oppenheimer.
And me, Mike Spade. All right, guys. So, Oscars. Let's talk. What do we like and what do we hate about them?
I think Al Pacino definitely wins an award for best presentation of the best picture.
You know, he was told to do that. He wasn't. It's not like he went and forgot to.
No way.
They still had 10 minutes left on the show.
It didn't matter.
They could have still whatever.
Well, the reasoning for that was because they said like throughout the whole show they were talking about all the big nominees. So they figured at the end, why bother mentioning them again when we could just go straight into that and tell us?
I guess so. And he didn't even say the classic line, and the Oscar goes to.
Yeah, I mean, he always looks like he's just walking around forgetting something these days. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Oscars 2024.
As expected, Oppenheimer kicking ass and taking names.
Oh yeah,
I've
7, I think, right?
They definitely
7 awards.
They definitely dominated. Like not that it's surprising. This makes it official. I've never been so right about a movie. You know, usually I'm not attached to a movie that gets nominated. Maybe like one actor for something, like when Heath Ledger got nominated that one year. Black Panther got nominated for Best Picture, but you know,
this was definitely like the Everything Everywhere All at Once like sweep of this year.
It was.
Well, it's not even like reasonably biased. This is truly one of the greatest films ever made, at least for this century, this decade. And to see, Just Do with Christopher Nolan, getting Best Director, well deserved, and technically 2 Oscars because he was co-producer with his wife for Best Picture. Robert Downey Jr., the ultimate redemption story is complete. He's been back on top for a while, of course, with Iron Man and Marvel and other films, but he finally got his Oscar with his 3rd nomination. He Chaplin back in 1992 with 3.
Yeah, 92.
And for a comic world back in the 2000s, why am I forgetting the name of the movie? The movie he did with Ben Stiller, the comedy.
Robert Downey. Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
He was hilarious in that.
Where he was the dude playing the dude.
The dude disguised as another dude.
Yeah.
But along with Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr., there was no doubt about it. Sometimes with these things, you get nervous, like, don't screw this up. I mean, it's so obvious right in front of you. Emily Blunt didn't win for Best Actress. She had stiff competition. The one robbery of the night, in my opinion, yes, I can't truly say it because I didn't see Poor Things. Emma Stone's a great actress. I love her, but it should have gone to Lily Gladstone.
110%.
And
110%.
Like, I thought there was no doubt about it. I feel like they got that one wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Poor Things after the Oscars just because I was like, all right, what makes this movie so special that like Lily Gladstone got that robbed out of underneath her feet. And I mean, I don't want to turn this into a Poor Things review, but like, look, everybody loves that movie. Everybody loves her performance in it. And she did great with what she was given. I just personally did not see it. And comparing it to what we got with Lily Gladstone in Kills of the Flower Moon, she should have gotten that. I don't know, but that's really my only controversial opinion.
I agree with you
that show.
That Lily should have gotten it, but I also understand why they picked Emma Stone. But my personal opinion on who got robbed was Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I agree.
That movie should have won, not The Boy and the Heron. Even though The Boy and the Heron was, a great movie, I still feel like Into the Spider-Verse was a better animated movie.
Well, if you remember our review of that, I wasn't a fan of The Boy and the Heron. I thought it wasn't that good.
This is the thing, though. The one thing I will say against that is that you're putting all these other animated movies up against a Miyazaki movie. If we're talking about a straight animated feature, the animation quality that we got in Boy and the Heron, just like any other Miyazaki movie, I mean, he's on the top for a reason, But Spider-Verse was like that. That was by far like the most stylish standout of all the movies that got nominated for that category. But yeah, no, I can agree with you, but at the same time, it's like it's a Miyazaki movie. I get it,
but Into the Spider-Verse, that what they've created with the storytelling so amazing, so on point. The visual, a mix of hitting the classic Marvel Easter eggs with multiple Spider-Man, like see our review on that. But that definitely should have won in its category. Even though the happiest people were probably there was the team from Godzilla -1.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, all decked out in their nice little Godzilla heels.
Yeah,
Did you see that? The little like
best visual,
claw.
Yeah, best visual effects on a what? $17 million budget. So
15.
Oh, sorry,
15.
$15 million budget,
if that.
So Hollywood,
and
we have a video about how and what you should do for your budgeting.
And the man himself, Christopher Nolan, gave it an endorsement. He loved that movie as well. If the guy winning from the Oscar for Best Director is winning, that's saying a lot right there.
Yep.
Look, listen, talent recognizes talent.
That's
so
it. So the question is for you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that everybody who won was, a clear-cut winner? Or do you feel like somebody else should have won? Let us know in the comments down below. So, gentlemen, our next little topic is just for our pal, Johnny64.
Woo-hoo!
This is definitely in Johnny's world. Johnny, this is all
So,
you.
Johnny,
Come
talk
on.
to us. Tell us about...
I can't be the only one.
Oh, no. But you know what it is? It's like you're such a Super Mario fan that you need to talk about this in great detail.
Okay. Well, I mean, the only details we got is that it exists. It's coming,
Yeah.
right? It's coming in 2026. But some extra context, right? Like, so on March 10th, which is Mario Day, MAR10 spells Mario, haha. But Nintendo recognizes this day as well, and they put out like a special video, what they call like the little Nintendo Directs. And it was the creator of Mario himself, Miyamoto, giving us some sort of an announcement. So, fans had no idea. We didn't even know the video was coming, so it was just a complete surprise. And, he said, hey, we have something to show you. And then all of a sudden we see the guy from Illumination Studios pop up on the screen, and we're like, oh, okay. I mean, we knew that a Legend of Zelda movie was coming out after the first Mario movie.
Not
but,
just yet.
I mean, this is Illumination Studios. They know how to churn their sequels out like nobody's business.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's no surprise that another movie is being made for Mario. I mean, the first one was $1 billion success. It was, movie of the year for a little while until Barbenheimer became a thing. Yep. But no, I mean, I'm excited. But one thing that's actually interesting, if you watch the whole video, not one time do they use the actual word sequel. They just said another Mario movie is coming out or something along those lines.
Interesting.
And if you think about
it could be not Mario. It could be a Luigi movie.
It could be a Luigi's Mansion movie. I mean, that's the thing. The games have Mario as a game series. There's so many different spin-offs and, like the sports games and the kart games, it could be a Donkey Kong focused movie for all we know.
But let me ask you this, but it's most likely going to be a Mario 2, a sequel to the big hit from last year. What do you want to see with your knowledge of the games in the next movie?
So that's the thing. I mean, the first movie was like really not like basic, but like they had to keep it grounded. Like, okay, like this is the first time we're putting Mario on the big screen. Let's keep it kind of simple. So, I mean, maybe they can replicate like the Mario 1, Mario 2, like NES games, like make the second game like that Dream Mario game, if you remember that from way back in the 80s, or make it like Mario 3.
Mario 3 was the
that was the big one. No, the Mario 2, the one where at the end of the game Mario was sleeping and you see like the whole thing was a dream. That was 2.
It's possible they could do that. I mean, at this point, anything could happen, right?
Yeah.
And who do you want to be the main villain? Do you have Bowser escape? I
mean, Bowser has to come back. That's the thing.
Jack Black stole the show.
Yeah, you can't not have Jack Black in the next movie after
Since
the first
you're the
one.
professional and the Super Mario expert, how many villains has Mario gone up against? Other than Bowser and Donkey Kong, since, he was Jumpman first, but...
Yeah.
Who else is there?
There's also Wario.
Okay,
Wario.
Wario.
Okay.
He would be pretty. I couldn't even imagine who could play Wario. Honestly, maybe like Jack Black, maybe, but obviously he's already taken.
No.
Elon
But-
Musk, like on SNL.
No, God,
I got a better
damn.
idea.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson.
No.
Think about it.
No,
Think about
no, Mike Tyson. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? No, but yeah. Besides that, I don't know who. I mean, technically, Donkey Kong was like a rival villain,
Right.
Going back to that Mario 2 game, there was the frog boss Wart.
Okay.
He can make his grand return because he hasn't been seen since that game. Yeah, like King Boo, like Luigi. That would
Yeah,
be
but I
like more
feel
Luigi's
like
Mansion.
King Boo is like a secondary, like a. He's not like a final boss. He was.
I feel like it
Yeah.
has to be Wario.
I mean, the thing is though, like Mario's mainline games, it was always Bowser, and if it was like another villain, it was usually like some sort of spin-off game or like one of the Mario RPGs or something like that. That like it was like a one-off villain. So it's gonna be Bowser just because
It's Bowser.
the popular Mario games, it's
Yeah.
always Bowser.
Yeah.
So, but he'll probably come with like some sub boss, like or a mini boss type of secondary character underneath them. But it would be cool. I think it would be cool to see Wario. I would like to, even if it's like a post-credit scene, because the first movie I was hoping Wario would be the post-credit scene. Oh, actually, that reminds me, maybe because we got Yoshi in the post-credit scene, so maybe it's a
remember Yoshi,
Yoshi's Island
Yoshi's Island,
themed movie. That would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, I was about to say, I hope we definitely see more Yoshi and have more of a take center stage in the sequel.
Yeah,
if it is a sequel.
because we had that one like mini shot of like the herd,
Right.
and that was it.
So does this mean we're going to see a lot of Yoshis die while Mario is jumping off of them?
No, oh man.
So yeah.
Yes, to get that extra,
or
that
we're
extra
gonna see,
jump.
or see Mario in the elevator and the Yoshi carrot just dancing again to the elevator music.
Oh.
Maybe.
So the question is for you guys: are you guys excited about Super Mario 2, or a Super Mario Brothers movie that's a sequel? Or how did he phrase it?
Just another Mario movie is
Another
coming
Mario
out.
movie. Yeah, let us
Mario
know.
Galaxy, that would be
Ooh,
sick.
that would be great too.
Sunshine, that
Paper Mario. Tell us how you
That would be
feel
sick,
about
too.
Paper Mario and how that should be the sequel. Let us know in the comment section down below. So, guys, our next topic is
Oh
okay.
boy.
So,
Well, you shared your thoughts in that short. In your short, do you have anything to add to
So-
that?
I have a lot to say. Okay, so in my short, I stated that this movie was a cross between John Wick and Constantine, right?
yeah.
So I watched the trailer right before we started recording, and I watched it again, and my opinions have not changed. It literally is a John Wick film and the paranormal of Constantine. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'll leave it up to you guys, but I'm going to tell you that I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that the movie looks like it could be entertaining. My only issue is there was heart in the original movie, right? And watching this trailer made me feel like there is no heart in this. So what do you guys think? You guys saw the trailer.
I'll say this, and I saw this in some comments on a post with the trailer posted, and I have to agree with it, that it looks like a good action movie if it wasn't using the Crow name. I think that's what's bringing in the negativity and people.
They could use the Crow name, just not use Eric Draven. It could have been, Bob Hamburger.
But considering it's a remake, a reboot, and that's the hook to get us into the movie theaters, to use Eric Draven. But that's a legendary role, and considering how he lost his life playing that role, Brandon Lee.
Right.
That's Eric Draven, especially for you, and the diehard Crow fans. It's definitely gonna get people into theaters, based on the name. Yes, there's controversy, and the original Crow movie in '93 or '94 didn't have the internet at the time, so that's why it's so polarizing. And the look. I mean, we talked about it recently. The emo Joker look, but only black.
That's
instead
what it looked
of,
like. And
So-
it's sad to say that it looks like that.
So now I gotta jump in on this. If you never told me like the Crow was making a comeback and you just showed me just the straight trailer without telling me what it was, I just would have been looking at it like Is DC like giving us another iteration of the Joker once again, like like a character study, like the Joaquin Phoenix movie, and we're getting another Elseworlds thing? But like, because you could totally like see like, oh yeah, like the Crow is a Joker, and he's like fighting for like Harley Quinn, maybe, like. So I mean, yeah, the original Crow. I mean, I've seen it too, and I mean, I'm not as huge of a fan of it as like you guys or other people we know, but like, it is a classic or cult classic. It's definitely a movie of its time for sure. It's and I feel like this movie's trying to emulate that too much without realizing it's no longer in grunge era early 90s where everything is dark and gloomy and gothic and all that stuff. So it's just like it's trying too hard to emulate a movie that I feel like it just won't fit in this time today. It's not. I don't think it's gonna get butts in seats other than for people who are fans of The Crow and maybe fans of Skarsgård. But I mean, it looks entertaining. It just doesn't look like it breaks the mold, and it's just like it's got the Crow like paint job, but like, is it actually the Crow movie? It doesn't seem to feel that way. So,
I really wish how a Jason Momoa Crow would have looked. I think he fit the part because besides the obvious hair, I think that would have been a look. But I think since this particular actor was in good standing with Lionsgate, and he had, he was the main villain in the last John Wick movie, so he seemed like a go-to to use for them. But he is a good actor, so he was the It Clown in the remake of that. He was great.
Pennywise.
He was brilliant as the main villain in the John Wick 4. So I'm not giving up total hope for this movie, but it does have that stigma that it's a remake, it's a reboot. I mean, we talked about the Roadhouse remake, which is coming out soon. So, like, you have great movies, but it's using the name of classic films. So
that's the thing. Like, why does this movie need to exist? Like, why do we need a reboot?
That's the question.
No, I don't think we do, because it's such it's such a product. The original is such a product of its time that like you can't really capture that same lightning in a bottle again in another time period. You know what I mean?
Well, do you find it weird that it just so happened to be coming out on its 30th anniversary? Like, this isn't just like, oh, it's the the 7th anniversary or the 12th. This is the 30 years later. So
I would have just given a remastered extended cut or something like that.
Yeah, spend like, I don't know, $5 million and add some more production value or something. Fix up where the CGI wasn't that great for 1993. Like, that scene where, the lightning strikes and you first see Eric Draven's clown face or mime face. You could have fixed that a little bit. Like, there's so much you could have done instead of spending $100 million or whatever their budget was.
Yeah, even like that, the haircut. It's like they're going out of their way to like, yeah, this is the new generation Crow. Like
this is, I get
it.
They used Post Malone as
I didn't see Post Malone. I saw
considering that
DCEU Joker with the bad haircut.
The DCEU Joker, it looks like he was based off of Post Malone with all the tattoos on his face and everywhere.
I guess, yeah.
So, look, here's my issue with The Crow. The movie is directed by Rupert Sanders. And this guy has only done, like 3 movies prior? What was it?
There are 2 movies of significance.
Oh, yeah, 2 movies. And one movie I liked, and the other movie was and that was Snow White and the Huntsman, which was And I really enjoyed Ghost in the Shell. Even though a lot of people were like, they were whitewashing and all that other jazz. It was still an entertaining film for what it was. So is it...
So this guy seems to have a knack for like taking something that people know and like like having some sort of controversial spin to it that not everybody, like, it's polarizing. This is what he's best at.
Didn't somebody, I don't know if it was the director, didn't someone connected to the original Crow film come out and speak against this new film, saying like
Alex Proyas, the original director of The Crow,
that it's kind of I'm paraphrasing, like, to the degree like, oh, it's like a disgrace because the first movie, the final product, is a tribute to Brandon Lee,
right?
Because how they expanded the budget, used the special effects, had people fill in for him and superimpose his face in post production and all that.
Right.
But they feel like they're they're taking a huge dump on the original by doing this reboot.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't say it's like taking a huge dump. I mean, we have yet to see the movie.
Yeah,
Maybe it is a huge pile of crap.
But-
Who knows? Or it could be like a semi decent. Like I'll say this. With when we did The Last Airbender on Netflix, right?
Right.
Is it a perfect retelling of the original? No. Did I still like it a lot? Yeah.
Yes.
So like, if you're enough of a fan of The Crow, maybe it's like, yeah, it's different, but maybe there's still enough heart and effort
Right.
in it that like the fans can at least enjoy it, and maybe some people who aren't fans of the original Crow can still watch it and enjoy it. That could also be the case too. So I'm not gonna leave anything out of possibility, but
Yeah, and if you separate that it's using the Crow name and Eric Draden's name, it still looks like a good action flick. So, and that's just the first trailer. So we'll see what else is yet to come. It was the first teaser trailer, to be precise.
right.
So we'll see what
Well,
happens.
I don't know if it was a teaser trailer. I think it was the first trailer.
It was the first trailer.
Yeah.
I thought I saw a teaser for it, but anyway.
Well, the first day it came out was the teaser trailer, and then when we watched it again today, we
Okay.
saw the final trailer. But yeah, so the question is, guys, victims, aren't we all? But seriously, let us know what you guys think in the comment section. Tell us, are you guys excited? Do you think that it's going to be a decent movie, a great movie, or a pile of crap? I know that I'm going to go in there with a clear mind and say my final thoughts on it when I watch the movie. So I'm just letting you guys know that it can't rain all the time.
Good one.
Okay, so guys, our next topic is a fun little movie called Alien Romulus. A movie that I don't think anybody asked for, but yet we're still getting.
I mean, I'm a pretty decent Alien fan, so like, I'm all for it. If it's just more people running away from, like, I like killer alien movies, so it's like I'm all for it. Like sci-fi horror, like just give me more. I'm cool. So it looks interesting. I read something interesting actually. The director apparently got the idea of this movie from an extended cut scene of the the sequel Aliens. The sequel to the original, like where I guess like they're in that sci-fi colony area, and like there's a scene where like she sees kids like just kind of hanging out by like one of the corridors, and there's a kid like even riding like one of the like a big wheel bicycle, things like that. So the director said, like, what if we expand on this concept? Like, what if there was like kids that grew up in this type of environment, like but like it's not like fully formed yet and all that stuff. So I think like the characters that we see here are like a product of that type of thing that we saw in if you saw the extended cut of Aliens. So man, it could change things up a bit, but end of the day, it's going to be people running away from a killer alien. People are going to die. People are going to get brutally murdered.
And it's not much you want more than that.
Yeah.
It's a beloved horror sci-fi franchise. It's definitely gonna get people into the theaters. I'm not personally a big fan of it because I haven't seen all the movies, but I do know that this director got the ultimate stamp of approval from the franchise creator Ripley Scott and James Cameron, who directed Aliens, the 1986 movie, and that this film takes place between those two movies.
Correct.
So, James Cameron's, we said enough about him on this channel. Put all that.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Well, his Aliens is one of his best movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of, yes. The issue, not issue, I don't know how to explain this. I'm kind of for it, and I'm also kind of against it, I guess you could say, because it was originally supposed to be on Hulu, right? And now it's getting a theatrical release, which means that the producers and the studios think that, hey, this could get us some money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's anything like the Predators movie that they did on Hulu,
Yeah, I was just
it's
thinking
going
that.
to be great. The thing that kind of scares me is the fact that Fede Alvarez, who's the director of this,
Right.
it's his directorial debut. So, it's kind of like one of those situations where I hope you do good on your first try.
I think the only thing that you can possibly speculate about in this movie is if, like, since like you said, it takes place in between the first and the second Aliens, and the beginning of Aliens, we see the character Ripley, Sigourney Weaver's character, waking up from like a 50-year slumber or something like that. Do you think that this will take place in the same colony while she's still asleep, and like her sleeping body will have
We got a
some sort
cameo
of,
from her.
you know, like a scene where like the alien's about to attack her while she's sleeping, and then somebody has to distract it.
It's possible, and you know what? They're probably going to de-age her.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Unless, okay, here's a thought.
Archive footage.
No, unless, remember what happened in the second one, right? It's 50 years later. What happens if the older Ripley, who's older, and then she dies at that and gets cloned for the second movie?
Oh, they show the cloning process. There we go. See?
See?
This is why I love speculating.
That's speculation. Oh,
I could actually see that. That
actually makes kind of sense now.
Yeah, that could be like a post-credit scene too. That like you just see her being cloned like in the the chamber and everything,
and then it starts off with just aliens.
Some background. I think this was part of the Disney Fox purchase. So it was included this property. So of course Disney's like, oh, we could more future movies are going to be in development. So the fact that we're getting this movie that was originally Hulu but going to theaters is not surprising at all.
I didn't back up. I did not realize that Alien was a property now.
Well, it is.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So does that make the
alien's a princess,
the alien queen from Disney princess?
Nice. Now we just need her in one of those funny, funky dresses.
Oh, Lord.
You know? I think pink would suit her. Mm-hmm. So the question is for you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that the queen should be a Disney princess or not? Let us know in the comments.
We're going off track here.
What color dress do you think the alien queen should wear?
Yeah. All right, everyone. So we're going to be talking about a show called Star Wars, The Acolyte. And I'm going to tell you this. The buzz that I've been seeing is not many people are excited about this, but when I saw this trailer, I was excited because it gives a different, to me, it feels like this show is going to give a different outtake. It's more like feudal Japan. You know, like when they're fighting, it gave me sort of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the way they were fighting.
I like that description.
You know, so I feel like this could be a show that is full of tremendous fight scenes.
You know, and I've been loving the Disney Star Wars live action shows. What's different about this one? I know the High Republic, which is the time period that is taking place 100 years before Episode 1. It feels like even though there's a video game and there's books about this era, it's like a fresh take.
Right.
It's not linked to any storyline that all the films and the shows are connected to. It has a clean slate in a way.
Right.
You know, maybe there'll be like little Easter eggs here and there. Maybe Dark Plagueis, which Palpatine references in Episode 3, his master. There's speculation he might show up from that era, but it just visual alone, it looks really damn good. And it's a fresh take because it's not connected. Like, as much as you and me love Andor Spade, it was still within the time period. But this is not connected to the Empire. There's no Skywalker saga.
Right.
We're getting awesome Jedi battles.
And this is at a time when the Jedis were the best thing since sliced bread.
Exactly. And this is the tail end of the High Republic. So we're going to see the emergence of the Sith villain. You know, in the trailer that you see a lightsaber getting swung around.
They've never seen that before. That's why they were like, what is that? Because these people have never seen a Sith Lord since. And
the Jedi won't be politically connected like that we see during the Clone Wars, leading into that war and connected to the Republic and all that jazz. But this feels like a fresh take. It's in a time period where the creators of the show could be more creative, not bound. Connected. Oh, you have to stay loyal. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But based on what we got, and one of the leads from The Matrix and Jessica Jones, Carrie-Anne Moss. Yeah. So she's going to be essential. Everybody else seems like a younger actor. I'm not familiar.
Don't forget Daphne Keane. From Logan.
Oh yeah.
If she's anything like that character, there's going to be great fight scenes. There's going to be amazing fight scenes.
I'm just
with
like
her.
picturing her like jumping, going, just like taking like two lightsabers into somebody's
I
head.
forget
like,
how young she was when she made Logan. I think she was only 13, and now she's 19. I know. So she's still a kid, but it's mind blowing how long ago, how young she was now. But the fact supposedly she's one of the rumor cameos in Deadpool Wolverine. We'll see what happens with that. But so those are really the only two actors that I know but the rest of the cast we'll get familiar with real quick. But I'm excited for this. This is the next entry into Star Wars, and the fact, and they could go multiple seasons with this since they have 100 years before they even touch the events of the movies.
I mean, technically, they can not only make a second season, they can go into a whole new saga if they wanted to.
They
It's
can, yeah.
We've had
That's what they should do, because I'm tired of like, as much as we all like Luke Skywalker, as much as we like Anakin and Darth Vader,
it's time to
move
part
on.
ways with that
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
Create something new and different. And guess what? We're not going to see Tatooine. So no more sand.
No more
ladies and
desert.
gentlemen.
We are going to be on Coruscant though.
Whatever, that's
Yeah.
fine. No Tatooine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, the only thing I question about this show, and I guess as somebody who's like, I'm like the lesser Star Wars fan in this group, but like, I need something that really shows that this is a time period that is way before what we've seen already. You know, like you say, this was like
100 years, yeah.
100 yeah, so years. Like I need to see the environment look like it's 100 years before. It can't just be the same thing and people like it looks like the same thing. People are wearing the same things, it's the same technology, everything like that, and people are just like, oh yeah, this was, you know, or outside of the show, you only know that it's 100 years prior, because I feel like that could be confusing to people.
I understand that, but I feel like if you pay attention to the way Star Wars works, like technology for them is totally different. Like they'll market how to go from planet to planet faster than, you know, how to create a smaller espresso machine. Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like the technology there is like we need to make technology for travel, not for the ease of humankind. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I agree with you, but at the same time, though,
That's just kind of what Star Wars is.
Well,
like
look
technology can span centuries.
Right.
And be the same.
Look at all the androids and all the robots in Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Some of them are running around saying, "Well, I'm 200 years old." Okay, so if you're 200 years old,
So-
that means tech hasn't really changed that much.
Yeah.
So maybe they
your
might
droids.
sneak in some droids that lived for a long time that were around during that era. Technically, Yoda is alive during this time, so
Right.
maybe they might.
Ooh, a younger Yoda.
Yeah, but so that might be the one classic Star Wars character that might. Yeah,
Remember that? What was that robot's name?
From Ahsoka?
From Ahsoka. He's 200 something years
yes,
old.
exactly. Yeah, he could make an
See,
appearance.
that's what I'm talking about. Like, show some sort of connection that tells the viewer, like, oh, this is way in the past. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, it can't just be like, and what makes it tough too is that like apparently this is the first in the timeline of anything live action that we've seen. So it's not like they can really reference anything from the future. So it's like,
Right.
yeah, they got to be, I guess, creative with like what they do show
This-
that like gives people like that tick. Like, okay, this is something in the past. You know?
I believe this is the first live action prequel to the prequels, in a way.
A prequel.
Yeah,
It's a pre-prequel.
Yeah.
That's live action. That's not in the books per se, but something that we could see unfold before our eyes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm excited for the show just based on the one trailer we got this week,
When does this come out?
June.
In
Yeah.
June. Okay.
So we have this coming out in June, and we have The Boys' new season. So we have two shows to look
Oh, I
forward
can't
to.
wait for that.
Yeah,
Oh boy, that's going to be great. So, the question is, for you guys, tell us in the comment section, are you guys excited about the Acolyte? Are you tired of the Skywalkers? You know, at least we won't see Palpatine in this one because there's no way they're bringing him back. Right?
Oh,
Right,
where's-
maybe it's a
I
young-
need some
maybe-
wood to knock on. I need some wood.
well, depending if he's a kid or not at this point, 100 years. But
Yeah.
Somehow,
So-
the Emperor returned.
Yeah. So, going on to the final thing, guys. What are we watching nowadays?
Oh man, I'm 3 weeks in a row. I'm still saying Shogun.
Nice. Okay. I started watching X-Men '97.
I'm gonna,
I
well,
gotta
by
get
the
on
time
that.
by the time this comes out, I would also say X-Men '97. But to stick to the Star Wars theme, the third and final season of The Bad Batch, a spinoff
Okay.
of Clone Wars, which for an animated show is actually gets very mature themes, pretty dark. This is also a Dave Filoni, in Filoni we trust, a Dave Filoni creation. So I've been enjoying that. It's running from February to May, and showing what happened to the clones when in the early days of the Empire. And the first season's a solid. The third season up to this point in time is good. So I think only a few more episodes to go, but that's what I've been enjoying. I also started to go back the original Avatar animated series.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And no one familiar with the characters. So
you didn't
How
tell
many
me to start
episodes in
watching
are you?
that. I'm so excited for you.
I am. I'm really excited right now.
I wish I could experience that show for the first time again.
Just the first episode for now, as of this time. But you and me would definitely have some conversations off air for sure.
Yeah. Well, compared to the Netflix show, give it some time because it's very episodic. The first book, chapter or season is kind of basic by the books type of storytelling
For sure.
But then once you get into Azula season 2 and 3, oh man, it ramps up so much. But the first season is very, very entertaining. It introduces you to the characters and gets you attached to them. So
I also watched a movie.
Which one?
That I know Johnny 64 watched.
And
it's called Damsel.
Oh, come on. No, we should be talking about things that we're enjoying.
Well, I'm going to tell you that I enjoy to tell the fans out there not to watch this one.
I haven't seen it, so I'm good over here.
It was so bad.
Here's the thing. I think, I don't know, between $70 and $90 million was spent on this show, and it was all spent on CGI.
Lord.
Yeah.
She's literally in a cave for 90% of the movie, and that cave was all CGI. The dragon chasing her was CGI. Everything was CGI.
Millie Bobby Brown, whatever the hell her name is, she just takes herself way too seriously. But it's the role was not good for her. The movie was not good. Angela Bassett had zero reason being in that movie or associated with it.
We all know that she took that for the payday. There's no way.
She needed to go on a trip or something that she needed money for.
She's like, I gotta go to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
What are you paying me? Deal.
Yeah.
Something to look forward. A movie to look forward to on streaming is the Roadhouse remake that I briefly mentioned earlier, and we reviewed that trailer. From everything I've been hearing so far, I'm hearing decent reviews for it, but it looks like something that should have been in the movie theater. But as of this timing, the premieres, I know Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor were here in New York for it, but I'm excited to see this movie of Conor McGregor playing Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I agree. So the question goes out to all of you out there. Tell us, what do you guys think? What shows are you watching? What do you think we should not watch because you guys think that it's garbage? Let us know in the comments section down below. And guys, I think that's it, right?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. We're out.
Roll credits. Hooah!